Hey everyone. It's been a while since I've really connected in. I've been keeping my big opinions to myself, which, is unlike me and my weirdo way of thinking. It's been a hard time for a lot of people. We're going through some really radical changes in life, and these are all for the greater good, in my opinion. A lot of people won't like to hear that, but I hear a lot of people are sort of thinking about that and really taking it on board. I too have been through a roller coaster, not only just with the general lie of the land with everything working remotely and things like that, but I've personally been through an horrific family law matter, which I wasn't prepared to talk about until now. Why am I talking about it? Well, it's not to denigrate anybody, it's just to talk about my experience and how that's been of benefit to me, because I'm really seeing in life how negative experiences, and the ones we're all going through right now, it can have a really positive impact if you make the choice. How do you do that? Well, look, for example, I had, this is the legal system I'm talking about now, because I've decided to really use what I've learned to assist people within the legal system. I've co-founded a group called Lawyers for Love. That may sound really wishy-washy to some of you, but love is really the foundation of who we are, and now I'm not going to be afraid to speak about that. If you want love, it is within you. It's nowhere else to be found. And I'm here to show you how to get there. That's how I live my life now, from a place of love. It's just awesome. But it's not as if I didn't take a while to get there. In fact, the last 54 years of my life have been the journey to love. And I have to say, it's been the most magnificent journey in hindsight. Anything from domestic violence to sexual abuse and alcoholism and everything in between. I've had it, I've dealt with it. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't take cane sugar much. I try and keep as fit and healthy as I can, but not from a try. Let's not use the try word. Let's say I live that life because that's my state of being. And I like to call love a state of being without fear. Fear is just a construct designed to move us away from love. So every time we feel a little bit bad, we know we have a fear present. So I understand that so well, and I'd like to guide you through all of your fears from my experience. For example, I had a fellow, and just going back to my legal experience, I had a fellow once come into me and say, "Do you know what it's like to receive a lawyer's letter?" Now, I didn't, and what he'd received was the standard letter that lawyers send to people. We act for your partner and we want to settle this matter without going to court, blah, 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 standard sort of things. Now, this wasn't an inflammatory letter or any of the sort, but he said when he got it in his letterbox, he saw lawyers on the envelope and freaked right out. And I thought, wow, that's just instilling fear in people. That's the legal system right there, instilling the fear. I too experienced that. In the recent case I went through a court date, a mediation, and a lot of legal banter going backwards and forwards between lawyers. And to receive those letters, it can trigger you. It triggered me. Being a client was way different to being the lawyer. My lawyer self thought she could handle it. She couldn't handle that. And so she had to step away and then look at what was triggering her, me, the person, the client, the person that's not the professional. And when I was able to figure that out, wow, did my life change. It changed because I saw it for what it was. And then there was no energy in that anymore. And I figured that, this was triggering a guilt in me, a guilt that I've carried all my life. And when I was able to find the source of that guilt and dissolve it, my life changed. Now I'm only looking from life or for life as from a place of what's in it for me. Every situation I face is an opportunity for me to look at, wow, how do I feel about the situation? Every time I feel something or experience anything, how do I feel? Is it a good feeling? Great, move forward. If it's not such a good feeling, why not? That's guiding me in a direction. So this is all about how you feel. So what I decided to do was set up a service called Divorce Doula, because I'm really not believing in how the legal system is treating people. It's treating people in fear. It's me versus you. And I've talked about this in my TEDx about how lawyers could be healers. Actually, it's the whole legal system that needs to be set aside. The legal system itself is not functional. It perpetuates your inner fears. So you go to a lawyer and the lawyer will say, validate you. That's what you want. You want validation. And so the lawyer says, yes, you're right. He or she is a terrible person. Let's blame them. And look, pay me a lot of money. And that's okay. They've got their skill set and that's perfect. But you are feeling great paying them the money because you want them on your team to blame somebody else. In effect, it's only how you've responded to your own situation that needs to be dealt with and looked at. So from my point of view, the legal system is really a little bit defunct. It should be a case, should is another good word that we should or should not use, depends on the rules. So the way we can look at life, the way we can see every situation is an opportunity to find where you've created a fear, a rule. Where you've created a fear is where you're feeling bad or you don't feel right. So in your relationship, when everything's going pear-shaped, you might be feeling a little bit off about that. So you know that you've got rules in there. Because remember, love is a state of being without fear, and the rules create fear. We created these rules when we were very young. Those rules kept us safe when we were young. That was brilliant work. We did great. But now we're adults. It's time to be our own parent. All these rules and regulations, and we're seeing this with COVID, we're seeing this, everybody telling us what to do, is taking our power from us. And the moment that you get that back, you feel powerful, you feel content, you feel satisfied, and you move forward in a loving space. Love connects everybody. It doesn't separate us like the legal system. So the space I'm working in now is helping people see that, particularly if they've got a legal matter that's really troubling them. They can't understand the system because the system really operates as a terrifying system. It's terrifying to be in it. You don't know what's going to happen next. And law, I will say, people think, oh, well, we need these rules for certainty. No, there is no certainty. You ask anybody that's been in the legal system what you were told and what you got in the end. They're not the same. So what I'm proposing to do is, look, if anyone needs any help, I'm here. You can make an appointment. I'll put the information on the website below because that's the space I'm working in. I have a lifetime of experience to help you through these, to see your life in a different way, to start feeling better. Because the rules are keeping you, your internal rules are keeping you from a place of feeling good. When you see what those rules are and dissolve them, they don't exist anymore and you start feeling greater peace. I'm going to put up little videos, hopefully every day, just with little pointers, little bits of life experience. I'm being myself now. I've been criticized for that. I've been criticized for being too airy, fairy, fluffy. But I'm sorry, this is me, this is it. And it's time to have the courage to be authentic because you can only be authentic when you drop everyone else's rules. The rules that others created for you, your parents or your tribe, as I said, were great at the time. They served you well, they kept you safe. They kept you fed and clothed and loved. But now you don't have to look outside of you to be loved anymore. Drop everybody else's rules. Live by your heart, live from your intuition without those rules, then you have moved closer to love. You don't need the Tim Tam, you don't need the shoes, you don't need the alcohol, or whatever it is else that you love to chase for gratification. Remember, that's just temporary. We are permanently loving beings. Let's look for that. Let's stay with that. Let's be in it. Let's be in love together. Thank you. I love you. And I really hope to connect with more of you in this space from your authentic selves. Take care.